ruling that was passed down in favor of Fairville Township did not follow the Century Code. How should I explain this? It didn't follow the Century Code what had to pertain with what we were dealing with. Hence why the North Dakota Association of Water Resource Districts got involved with it as well. Because if that ruling would have stood, any township that wanted to go and start removing culverts in assessment drains would have that authority to do that. And that's not how it's set up.
Except we didn't remove a culvert in an assessment drain. And that's, whatever, I'm just saying.
The Supreme Court will decide that.
Yep, and that's not what, all I was wondering is just where the money's coming from. Because that's just the budget meeting, so.
And then, yeah, the Supreme Court's the only appellate court in the state of North Dakota, so
yep.
Any appeal would, that's the only place for it to go in the state. So, any other questions? And if not, I guess I'll make a comment. Each of the commissioners has one of these now too, and you know, invariably any level of government, whether it's city, county, township, state, federal, etc., everybody thinks that government needs to quit taxing and spending. That is on everything except what's important to them. Okay? So they all have a card like this that will show if indeed the budget that I just described for you is passed, and that is available online. If you go to the Wells County page and you search and just use the word budget, it'll pop right up there for you. You can look at the entire thing. I think it's 38 pages or something like that. Long. This will tell you what the mill rates not only will be, if indeed they pass this budget, but what they could be. And what they will be, 93.18, including those two mills that are set aside for the State Medical Center and Garrison Diversion. Our mill rate could be 121.75. So we're actually at 77%, I think, of what we could be at. So if the initial claim is that we're way overtaxed here, well, I've got proof to you that that's just not the case. Okay, now you can argue with the commissioners or whomever about where they spend their money and what they spend it on, but I imagine that there's an element of subjectivity to that as well. But if your claim is that Wells County's sticking it to you, well, that's just wrong. Okay. Do you have any other questions or comments? Ivy?
Why is the wages or the health care and all that stuff put under miscellaneous? Shouldn't that be a line item?
And I'm glad you brought that up because it's something I'm going to visit with the commissioners about. We follow what the state of North Dakota recommends. I don't particularly care for it either. I do think that each of those should be attached to each department, and I do, but we're following guidance from the state of North Dakota, and it's a question, certainly we have a state convention within the ACO later this month of October, and it's a question that I will ask. Because I don't like that either. It gives a misguided at best view of each department within Wells County. So, terrific question. I wish I could answer it for you, and maybe after October, maybe I will have an answer for you, and maybe in 2027, that budget, maybe you'll see that change, because it's something that I intend to visit with them about. Anything else? Okay, with that, I guess, thank you very much for your attendance this morning. I'm going to get this out of the way.
That's the same question I had. That's good. You can leave that to Dan. I appreciate it. I know, I was gonna move it to the other side.
This is regular now.
Second to get my stuff open up here.
Do we have to go sit up and talk?
But the pinto beans all done?
Pretty well.
I heard you're not very good, huh? Disease?
Light. It was not. It was blight.
All right, we are ready to roll.
Okay, we will call this commission meeting to order. Thanks for that presentation, that was great,
Very good.
very good. I wish everybody in our county could see that. Do we have any additions to the agenda?
We'll need to add the health district
Yeah.
on there. And I'll just tell you up front, what we're gonna share with you, obviously, the health district had other commitments, they can't be here, but they will be here in November.
And that's a dire situation.
I got two brief items. Dave Gertz contacted me and just put down garrison diversion as a topic. You know, they're trying to give the canal away, and he met with the garrison diversion here and is kind of spearheading a concerted effort to do something with that, so put that down.
You said you had two items?
Well, the other one is, label it as enhanced revenue or whatever, that we need to talk a little bit about, I feel, and this is the topic now, is if you've seen a lot of these data centers, battery storage places and things, I just read an article where over half of the counties in North Dakota have been contacted as to the feasibility of landing one of these entities, and we should just have a very brief discussion as to, you know, is that a mode of enhanced revenue for Wells County, and can we pursue it in some manner? Maybe that's JDA's job, but we should at least discuss it.
Very good. Anything else for the agenda? Okay, if not, let's proceed. Meeting minutes, regular meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Stan to approve minutes. Second by Boone. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Then we have that second set from NDACO, and there were only two of you there, so you're the two that are gonna have to make the motions in the seconds.
So moved.
Okay,
I'll second that also.
motion by Brian, second by Boone. Any discussion on that?
Good, it was a good meeting. And I do believe they are representing us well, whether they get anywhere or not, that's another story. But they do have sincere want to do stuff.
They're a very good resource for us.
Right.
I was sorry to miss that meeting, but,
A lot of good information.
no other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
All right.
Opposed, motion carried. Timesheets, anything,
All are good, all are turned in on time, so that's good.
can't beat that.
Oh,
That takes us up to the bills. I'll take a minute to re-look at that. You all got this on your email, but, check it out.
That's a big month there.
This is crazy.
Obviously,
well,
all
we
the
paid for
construction
that,
costs,
that's a little deceiving, we paid for that paving, so.
Take that out of there and it's, what, a couple $100,000?
Right.
You have $950,000 that was specifically infrastructure / road stuff, so.
Now,
Did that end up to be on budget or what they said? And sometimes it'll vary a little bit, the
It's
paving.
close, but it's gonna go over a little bit with that stuff that they're doing out there with the inslope.
Wait, okay,
Yep.
yeah, all
And
right.
the approaches. Well, the one shoulder.
One shoulder was kinda steep.
It'd be on the south side of that road is a really steep incline.
Have they done that already?
They were working on it yesterday. I would assume they're gonna finish it and be gone, but
Okay,
they're all done with the actual paving. It's just off the road stuff.
yeah. It turned out really good the way it looks. Anything else on the bills that somebody has a question on?
the fairground and festival hall, now that was just half of that, right?
It was, but it is less than half. We made a change before they came. The windows were gonna be grilled to look like the stained wood around them. And we said, the windows frames are all white, just make the grills white. I think we saved $13,000 or $14,000 by doing that, so. So we are done with that project, except one of the panes is cracked, and they do have to come out and replace that free of charge. Of course, it showed up that way in shipping.
Two quick questions on the big bill. Flint Hill Resource.
That's oil for chip sealing.
Oh, okay. And then, Wold Engineering seems high at $151,000.
That includes
Includes
your
the-
preparation for Old 52.
the rest of that. It's just not
Yep.
that one
No,
project,
it's not that. It's mostly that, actually.
right? They were supposed to take, what, 8% or something like that, which would be 50,000, not 150,000. But, okay, if it's that, then I get it.
But think about that. And this is why I have such an issue with this. I don't know what it took them to do that. But we paid one of their employees their annual salary.
I know, don't get me
So,
started.
Yeah, very nice.
And we can beat a bull, but any engineering firm.
It'll be the same.
They're all the same. They all are based on percentages.
You don't have to be though.
Hmm?
You don't have to be.
No.
The radio deal, is that actually working out to be something, or it seems like you keep paying radio?
We've been doing that for 10 years.
Yeah, I know that, but is there,
This is,
Where'd you see this?
yeah, this is a fee that you just have to have if you're gonna have 911 services, and unfortunately, I'm not sure if it's getting any better or if it's not getting any better.
That's got
Just
nothing
wondered.
to do with
Yeah.
storage.
Everybody's gonna pay that.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Okay, I got a question. Loud's Auto Body for $8,000 for highway machinery under highway tax, and then the other one is $6,310. That's for that motorcycle storage, right?
Correct. The
That must have got
$8,000,
reduced quite a bit.
it did. It was over 30,
Okay.
on its way to 40, and they settled for 6.
Okay.
I'd like to find out if it's gone from there.
Is Chris coming? I will ask
He
him
will
that.
be here. or is scheduled to do, I should
Okay.
say it that way. And then the 8,000 is the purchase of a mower,
For the beer garden.
presumably. But
Okay. It gets used wherever too.
Yeah.
Whatever, that's just was my question.
All right, very good. Any other questions? Anybody else? Take a motion to approve the bills.
All motion.
Alan Miller, motion approved. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Boone. Any other discussion on the bills? So we need to ask that question, whether that thing's removed or not. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, balance sheet.
Nothing too striking on here. Obviously, we have the same concerns we have every month on here. I referenced both the county agent's budget as well as, that 911. I've referenced that in the past. Both of them are deficits as well as the road department. Now, the road department isn't as difficult of spot as we maybe were 12 months ago. We're slowly climbing, but we're still in a hole there. And it's just something you have to keep an eye on. It's the biggest expenditure we have as a county, and I don't think that's going to change regardless of how you go about this process because of the needs that exist there. But we also can't have an unlimited checkbook there either. And so if you take that and you add in the highway tax, which is about 3 or 4 slots down from that, and then we'll transfer the remainder of the money that is just $2,500, such as a couple spots below there at the end of this year, then of course your number looks better, but it's still in excess of $500,000 in the red. And of course, it was a whole lot closer to $1 million a year ago at this time, but nevertheless, it's a slow climb and not one that we're going to get out of just by doing what we're presently doing. So, other than that, we'll probably go right into the next sheet that you have.
One question on
Yeah.
on the highway or the road deal. Are all the townships paid up for blading?
Well, still waiting on one for sure. I think it's 2. Wells and Silver Lake, I believe. And with one of those, I don't even have their budget yet, and I'm kind of running out of time. October 10th, this Friday, is the deadline. So, and most of them were turned in last spring, of course. But no, so a little ways to go, and it'll make a difference. But again, it'll be a small difference.
Well, it isn't huge, but it's
Yeah.
one of those
Probably
deals.
The
Every dollar
principle
counts.
the 2 of them together, probably about $8,000.
Right.
So,
Okay.
anything else? You have any questions on? Again, we'll pay out our town. All political subdivisions will get paid out in the month of November. So, the bottom 2/3 of that sheet, you'll see the stuff that's in the collections, which isn't a whole bunch this time of the year, but all of that stuff will disappear in November when we pay out.
Okay.
And that takes us to the next page, which is our CDs and money market accounts. And right now, you've got $7.4 million in those particular areas, which is comforting, but I will tell you, tomorrow, we're going to transfer, $420,000 tomorrow just to cover these bills that you approved today. So, and we'll have to, excuse me, we'll have to make a transfer in November, and we'll have to make a transfer in December in order to make payroll. But this is totally understood, or should be understood. If we go to this page, I've been sharing a line with you that shows you that we're technically over-invested by $1.3 million. That's the amount that ultimately we're going to have to transfer both between tomorrow, first part of November, and first part of December in order to, but the thought all along was get this money in an interest-bearing account and that's what we have done. So that's why those things are occurring. So be prepared for that bottom number there in your money market to not go away, but it's going to shrink significantly between now and the first part of December. And then what starts happening in the last part of December, you start to get tax revenue back in. So if you have any questions, I would entertain them at this point in time.
Looks good.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the treasurer and Dan to manage some CDs and money market accounts.
Okay. Motion made by Stan, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Brian Miller. Any discussion? Was there a significant amount of interest made during this period?
Yeah, on the money market, we probably collect a little over $10,000 a month. So it's not chump change.
Yeah.
And obviously that goes down as we take money out of there. And then of course, the other half of your dollars are tied up in CDs. And the next one that comes up for renewal there is right after Christmas time, but there's no reason to think that, assuming rates remain somewhat significant, we'll continue to reinvest those dollars. And right now, the money market's at 3.5%, and your CDs are anywhere from 4 to 4.25, something like that. So.
Very good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
And then also, can we get an approval of the balance sheet?
Oh, yeah. Is there a motion to approve the balance sheet?
I'll move.
Boone, motion,
Second.
Brian Miller, second. Any discussion on that? Went through that pretty well, no other discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Then you have pledged securities, you have all three banks listed there, and don't need a vote on this, just a consensus that they do adequately cover the county, and without reading through the whole thing, we have more pledged than we have money in those banks, so we are adequately covered.
Very good.
All right, as far as correspondence, got a number of different things here, got 3 or 4 or 5 different things. First item there is the court facilities improvement grant. There's an opportunity. I will visit with Carla in regards to that. Hopefully we can find something. We looked at a couple of the projects that we had that we will still have this year, the elevator being one of those, but they can't do that because it's ADA and you're required to do that. Not if you'd like to, you're required to. So, but maybe we can find something for inside the courtroom that we can get done there. If you have any ideas, by all means, make sure that you share those ideas. Okay, next item up there is the garrison diversion, which has been added to our agenda, but we'll talk about that later. This is their approved budget. They held their budget hearing sometime in the latter part of September, but that is their budget. They sent out a copy of that, so I thought I would share that with you as well. Third item there, we did put in what we call an infant-friendly workplace, and we did that A, because it was the right thing to do, and secondly, because Health and Human Services had a small grant that was available for that, and we spent $509 utilizing a room that had no real use, and we've created an infant-friendly workplace in the courthouse, and we got 500 of those $509 back. So that is what that information. Do you have any questions on that?
Little room on the second floor.
I call it what I call it, third floor, but you call it whatever.
Yeah.
It's on the same floor as the courtroom.
Right.
No, it's but nice little area there. It was all it was doing is collecting dust otherwise. The next piece is a letter from the United States Department of the Interior, and specifically the Bureau of Land Management. They're asking you if you would approve becoming a cooperating agency to rewriting their emergency of stuff. So I don't know why, as a governmental entity, we would not be a cooperating agency, but maybe there's more to this than I realize. I don't know. So maybe we should ask Tammy to come up. Tammy?
Yeah, I think so.
She in there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's coming.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
What do you know about that? This is just like the Q&A section in the
Yeah.
Put on the spot.
Well, everything that's listed here looks,
I would assume you would do this.
First time ever getting it though?
Well, I've never seen this particular letter, but they're trying to redo some policy.
Maybe that's only done once every 10 years or something.
yeah.
I think, yeah, it sounds like just to update the records, but do we have any Bureau of Land Management land in Wells County?
You still have Lone
Lone
Tree,
Tree?
so I don't see why we wouldn't unless there's some hidden
Yeah,
agenda that I'm
you
not
would.
aware of,
I-
so.
I would
think you
Yeah,
would.
I think it's just updating the records.
Sign it, send it back.
All right, I need
So you probably needed a motion. to do
approval for that.
I'll make a motion that we submit the correspondence to the Department of Interior.
Okay. Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Brian Miller?
But that was only a half a second.
Second.
Yeah, but
Get it sent in soon, it's due October 10th.
Say
you
it
got a
like-
couple days.
Say it like you beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any discussion on that? You'll fill it out, take care of it, Dan?
Yep.
Okay, no other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried, done deal.
Then the last part here, this wasn't in your electronic packet, but I put it in your hard packet there. 62nd Annual Joint North Dakota Water Convention is coming up December 9th through 11th in Bismarck, so if that's something that you feel like you should attend, you've got all the stuff in order to register for that, so. And that's all the correspondence I have.
Is this something that the water board does, or?
I would think the water board would attend that, certainly. There's stuff on there that isn't necessarily for the local, but the Upper Cheyenne, which is in the backyard, obviously is.
Well, that's kind of a catch-all. I mean, I'm thinking that there's a lot of people there that are private irrigators and, you know, those general irrigation folks will be there and, you know, people like that.
Probably interesting.
There's something else going on. Can't do that, Commissioner.
You'll be ice fishing.
Huh?
You'll be ice fishing
It's December.
on the
Yeah,
10th.
I know. Well, I might be.
Well, you said something else going on, so I
Well,
figured
that,
I'd
maybe that-
perk up your memory a little bit.
To that two-day deal with commissioners in December.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that's
Right.
either the 10th and 11th or
I
9th
believe
and
you're
10th
right.
also.
That legislative thing.
Yes,
Right.
where all the commissioners just go.
That's a pretty
Right.
good deal, yeah.
Just commissioners.
Was there anything under public comments?
Yes, we do have one of those, but do your portfolios first.
Okay. Portfolio, start with Miller.
Nothing new with Carla, and then Chris is supposed to be coming in today, so here's some updates from him hopefully, and I guess that's it.
In the case of tax equalization, Jan is still on maternity leave, but she is doing some work from home, and she has a very competent assistant that's holding the fort down and has called her on occasion if she gets stuck in some situation. So it sounds like they're doing okay.
Excellent.
Well, we got that on here with register of deeds. People who appointed to elected, I think we're gonna vote on that today.
Recorder.
A recorder.
Yeah.
That's all I have, nothing else.
Okay. Brent will be in here after a bit. Had some issues. The chip spreader broke down. looked like a $20,000 fix, but they got a mechanic and they found a broken wire, gotta go